Hey, welcome back and welcome to our weekly edition of All Things Women in Sports. And we begin this week in London, where there's a brand new Wimbledon champion. World number 7, Linda Noskova, has now won her first ever Grand Slam trophy. She defeated world number 6, Karolina Muchova, in 3 sets. And get this, it's not only Linda's first Grand Slam win, it was her first ever Grand Slam final. The 21-year-old is now the 3rd Czech woman in the last 4 years to win in Wimbledon. And just 2 years ago at the Paris Olympics, Linda played with the runner-up, Karolina, as doubles partners, where they finished in 4th. Meanwhile, world number 1, Aryna Sabalenka, was ousted in the 4th round to Naomi Osaka. But she has spent 97 consecutive weeks at the top of the world rankings. Even with this early loss at Wimbledon, her point totals from this season guarantee that Sabalenka will have a 98th and 99th week at the top, putting her ever closer to that major career milestone of 100 weeks as the best women's tennis player in the world. American star Coco Gauff jumped 3 spots back up the rankings after her semifinals finish at Wimbledon. This year's performance was a major comeback for her after a first-round exit in 2025. Now Gauff has climbed from 7th in the world back up to number 4. But it was the opposite for Iga Swiatek, the 2025 Wimbledon champion. She fell 5 spots in the world rankings from number 3 to number 8 after a 3rd-round loss to Alex Alea in London. Turning to basketball, a huge shakeup is coming to the NCAA tournament. The women's tournament is now overhauling how it will seed the best teams. So starting next season, the top 16 seeds will be based strictly on their overall ranking, and conference affiliation will no longer bump teams out of their earned positions. So before now, women's NCAA rules kept the top 4 teams from a single conference from landing in the same region, and it kept league rivals apart until the Final Four. But now, your placement will depend entirely on your performance. In the WNBA, All-Star Weekend is about to tip off in Chicago, and some of the events will be held at the new Obama Presidential Center, making this the first pro sports league to visit the new facility. You can catch All-Star starters Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, Olivia Miles, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston starting on July 24th. And there has been some history made in the WNBA over the last few days. We will start with Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve, who is now the WNBA's all-time winningest coach. With the victory over the Sun last week, Reeve earned her 380th regular season victory. And get this, since taking over in Minnesota in 2010, she has won 4 WNBA championships and 4 Coach of the Year awards. Also last week, Phoenix Mercury's DeWanna Bonner became just the 3rd player in league history to score 8,000 career points. And she's also the first player to combine 8,000 points with 3,000 rebounds and 500 steals. And just on Sunday, the Indiana Fever beat the Las Vegas Aces. Despite playing through a back injury, Caitlin Clark recorded her 600th career assist, reaching that milestone in 72 games and making her the fastest player in WNBA history to reach that assist milestone. But records aren't only being broken in basketball. In soccer, Sophia Wilson recorded her 50th career goal last week, making her just the 9th player in NWSL history to do so. But she did it in 89 regular season appearances, making her the 3rd fastest player to reach 50 goals. Yesterday, the U.S. women's national team announced plans for 2 friendlies against reigning world champions Spain. These 2 games will be in October in the last FIFA window before World Cup qualifiers. And this is going to be a tune-up ahead of November's CONCACAF W Championship quarterfinal against El Salvador, with the U.S. fighting for a spot to the 2027 World Cup in Brazil. And last week, U.S. Soccer announced it will distribute the U.S. men's national team World Cup payout evenly between the men's and women's teams. And this is thanks to the 2 teams' 2022 collective bargaining agreement. So this is a $16 million payout. 20% goes to U.S. Soccer. The other 80% split evenly between the men's and women's teams, although the women must first punch their ticket to Brazil to get the cash. Now in softball, the Utah Talons are the first AUSL team to punch their ticket to postseason play this year. The defending champions sit atop the leaderboard. Right behind them are the Chicago Bandits, who have won 9 straight games. And get this, the #1 seed earns an automatic berth, while the second and third place teams meet in the play-in game. That play-in game is set for next Thursday, July 23rd. And finally tonight, the International Olympic Committee, or the IOC, is moving to end Russian neutrality ahead of the 2028 Summer Olympic Games in Los Angeles. This also provincially reinstates the Russian Olympic Committee, which had been suspended after absorbing sports councils from occupied Ukrainian territories. But the IOC is still withholding approval of Russia's flag and anthem during the Olympic Games in LA for now. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Women in Sports.